That's what I think. What was going on in San Diego when that guy got bit in half by a shark a couple years back? They were training for something.
Yeah, it's funny you remember that. That was May of 2008. I remember that like it was yesterday. So at the time I lived in San Francisco. And this is actually just before I swam the Maui thing. Now that I think about it, that was 10 years ago. I swam the Maui thing in June of 08. So I'm doing all my training in a swimming pool up in San Francisco because I don't want to acclimate to very cold water. I actually want to be in warm water. But I needed one long ocean swim of like 14 or 15 miles as my like last training swim. So I came down to San Diego to do it. And just by bad luck, I came down a few days after that guy was killed. Now, this was a guy, I didn't know him, but he was a triathlete training with a triathlon group that they would go out and swim every morning. And I know the beach exactly where it happened, in Solana Beach. And unfortunately, like most people who get attacked by great whites, they always attack the same way, which is below and behind, stealth bite, up, and then they retreat. So they're trying to basically injure the prey, so their prey exsanguinates, and then they take off, and then they wait till you bleed out. So they never saw the shark, but you could tell from the bite marks it was. I actually had a friend who was on the beach and saw him when he came out, and he was basically dead when he got to shore. He had bled to death. The problem is, so in this case, the shark had bit him and cut through his femoral arteries and veins. And the salt water prevents you from having any hemostasis, so it exacerbates the blood loss. So that's generally how folks perish when they're bit by great whites.
How did they get him out of the water?
A bunch of other swimmers came to his rescue, and luckily that commotion prevents the sharks from wanting to come back. So 3 days later, I go out and I'm swimming at that beach because I swam from my training swim was La Jolla up to Solana Beach and back. And I got to tell you, like 3 days after a guy dies where you're swimming, it was about one of the most mentally challenging training swims to be like, because you can't see, like the water at that part of the beach is so murky, and you're only a couple hundred yards offshore that like you can barely see your hands when you're swimming. And so you're just thinking, is this the day?
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
Gee, I can't see why.
Yeah, there's just something about sharks, too. I mean, they're, to me, one of the most terrifying things. But first of all, we're so inept in the water. I mean, even a person like you who's a great swimmer.
Yeah, we're a joke.
Yeah, what we are in comparison to what they are, it's just you're throwing yourself into the world of a super predator. And to know that one just jacked a person just a few days before and you're out there swimming around.
Yeah, although I will say this, when it's all said and done, all of the close encounters I've had, probably the scariest moment I've ever had in the water was doing a swim from Santa Rosa to Santa Barbara. So Santa Rosa Island, which is the second furthest north Channel Island. You got San Miguel, Santa Rosa, Santa Cruz, and Anacapa represent the top 4 Channel Islands. So we did this November swim. It was a nighttime thing again, swimming from Santa Rosa Island to Santa Barbara. And at about 5 in the morning, maybe 6 in the morning, you're just starting to get enough light where you can see, and you're out there, so you really have amazing visibility. And I look down probably 40 feet, and I see this enormous thing swimming like this, which is how sharks swim, and I see the dorsal fin in the position that freaks me out, and the tail's this way. All of that is shark.
Right.
And I lift up out of the water, kind of hyperventilate for a second, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, you got to make a judgment call here. If that's really a great white, you probably ought to get out of the water. But the moment you're out of the water, that's it, the swim is over. Like, you just spent like months doing this, like it's done. So then I convinced myself, and I think I'm right. I think it was a dolphin on its side, because a dolphin on its side its tail fin would be the same way, and it could swim that way. So in the end, I just kept swimming. But I mean, that scared the shit out of me.
Well, they have seen quite a few of them off the coast of Malibu. There's
there's tons. There's no question. They are way more plentiful than we realize. And all you got to do is talk to the fishermen. Like the fishermen will tell you. They're like, like off Coronado. I mean, it's like there's nonstop great whites.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Why are you freaking me out, Peter?
The good news is they see us all the time, and most of the time they realize we're not what they want.
Yeah, they want seals.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Whenever they attack us, they're making a mistake.
Now, is there a suit you can wear, like a Kevlar suit that protects you from getting bitten in half?
No, but this is so funny you bring this up. I became obsessed with this thing called the what was it called? Christ. You'd put the thing on your ankle, like you had like a little Velcro thing, you'd wrap it on your ankle, and it had a tail, like this long, like 4 foot long thing, and it was charged. And it sends out an electrical impulse that disturbs the shit out of the sharks. The shark's nose is an organ that senses electricity. So when a shark, it could be pitch black, it could be soot water, and they can still scope you, from hundreds of yards away based on the electrical activity of your heart. And that organ is their nose. So this little thing, I forget what it was called, like the shark taser or some shit. It puts out a signal that like tases them, and they don't want to get within like.
Oh, there it is. Jamie's got it up here. The world's first shark deterrent band. It's called the Shark Bands. Worn on the wrist or ankle. Is this it?
I don't know. I thought it had a different name. But because the one that I was going to get and did a ton of research into had a really long tail hanging off it, and that became the problem.
Uses patented magnetic technology to repel sharks. So the tail was a problem because of the drag?
No, because it sounds silly, but it would come up and zap you in the nuts.
Oh,
so it's like, so it became unbearable to practice swimming in this thing because you're like, every 37 seconds you'd get zapped by the tail. And I was just like, yeah.
I like how it says reduce the risk.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get some numbers, please? I don't want to just hear reduce. By how much? By 1%
7%.
Statistically. And then it also is a leash for your surfboard too. You can use one of those to strap it to your ankle. But yeah, no.
It's going to come to me like in an hour. I'll remember what this silly thing was called.
Jamie will probably find it.
Yeah.
Off of Catalina, I know it's one of the best shark fishing places in the world. I have a friend of mine who told me that if you think about like wild places on Earth that are just overrun with predators, terrifying, like predator-prey activity, Catalina Island is one of the top spots in the world. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm telling you, man, the shark fishing off Catalina Island is fucking insane. And then I watched a television show, just, synchronicity, a couple days later, and it was these guys shark fishing off of Catalina. I was like, what in the fuck? I could have never guessed. They're catching makos mostly.
Yeah, and it's actually my recollection, because we swam around Catalina once as well. The backside is way more aggressive than the front side.
The side that faces the Pacific rather
than
faces
exactly.
Los Angeles?
That's right. Yeah, there's way more
makes
crazy
sense.
stuff out there.
Yeah, I think that's exactly where they were. Yeah, it looked pretty nuts. I mean, they were bringing in these 15-foot sharks. I mean, I was like, what in the fuck? These are just floating around out there. What vices do you have? Do you have vices?
Adrenaline used to be a vice. I used to
do risky behaviors.
Not risky in the illegal sense, but
sports stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I went cage exit shark dive and loved every second of it. Great white sharks, and until I had an air failure down there.
What happened?
I had to call over another diver and do the share air thing, and
holy shit,
I was alone in the cage.
Oh my god!
I went with my buddy Michael Muller, who's this fantastic photographer, like celebrity photographer, but he also takes pictures of sharks. We were studying fear, so we decided to go do VR of great whites off Guadalupe. I went the first year, stayed in the cage, didn't exit. We got my scuba certification. Second year, this is 2017, went out, bunch of friends. Brian McKenzie, who's kind of a performance guy and former SEAL team guy. And anyway, we're out there. I'm in the cage. 3 divers leave to do the cage exit thing with their film the VR, and I'm on the hookah line. And then at some point,
what's a hookah line?
It's a line up to the surface that you're breathing oxygen.
Oh, okay.
But I was alone in the cage, and I'd been there the year before. So the sharks are coming in all over the place, and they're huge. I mean, the girth is insane. But I'm in the cage, and they're out of the cage. And then all of a sudden, I got no air. I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
So I look up, and the hose had kind of boa constricted up on itself. So I was like, oh, so I pop up. Remember, no scuba on me because I'm just in the cage. And the thing's like concrete, clink, clink, clink. And you're down 40 feet below the surface. It's like, oh God. So I drop down to the corner. There's a spare tank down there. Open it up. Nothing. Nothing comes out.
It's empty?
It's empty. So I go to the other reserve tank. Open it up. Nothing. Okay, so now I'm screwed. So I'm getting real. I haven't had any air in a little bit, but probably only 10, 15 seconds, but freaking out. So I get up on top of the cage. I've got a weight belt on, and I'm like, okay, I guess I shoot for the surface because I can see the boat up there. Because if I stay down here, I'm clearly going to die. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, shooting for the surface is exactly what they like. Are they going to eat? You know, you're just kind of, I started to kind of panic a bit.
Oh, Jesus.
And at that point, one of the divers, oh, yeah, that's me there. That's while I'm in the cage. See, they're big. They're big animals. So
and how are they attracting these fish?
You're not allowed to chum. So they just come in. They're super. So yeah, well, you film that from the cage. So
that was meat, though.
Yeah, so you can keep tuna up on the surface, but we're down in the deep cage. There's a surface cage and a deep cage. So then what happened? Yeah, Muller shot that for our VR in the lab. So then what happened was this guy, Brock, who's one of the divers, that's Muller. Muller wears a yellow suit to look more like a tuna so they come closer.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he's a, you guys would get along. He's a longtime Hollywood guy who's a kind of photographer who does these adventures. So then one of the divers saw me, and I was like, like I need air, and he kind of looked at me, and so he kicked his way back over, but that was a long wait. And then we did the share air thing, but now 2 divers are out and we're there sharing air, and there's only so much air before you eventually run out and there's nothing in the reserves. Eventually they came back, and then we pulled the rope and got out. And it was enough of a scary experience for me that I was like, oh God. So and actually I got out, and a guy from the SEAL teams came over to me, super calm, like typical of those guys. He was like, so what do you take away from that experience? And I was like, check the safety tanks. He was like, check the safeties. But I will say this, I'm not tough. Like, this is not to kind of, inflate myself. But the next day I woke up and I was seriously freaked out. And so I actually went down the next day again, and I cage exited. And the reason I did it is because, first of all, when I cage exited, I was on scuba. So I felt totally contained. I knew I wasn't going to die of an air failure. And the other reason is everything we know about trauma and the treatment of trauma is that if you live with that bug in your brain about quote unquote almost dying, in fact, I don't even like to say that, that's stuck in you. So I went down there in the cage, and then I cage exited.
And you keep saying cage exited.
Swam out of the cage with the sharks. Turns out when they're swimming at you, if you swim toward them, they bank off. If you don't, if you shoot for the surface or something, they go, oh, you're prey, and they can go after you. But if you just swim toward them, then they bank off pretty early.
So how do you get to the surface?
Well, you get back in the cage to get back up. So you get into the cage at the top, they lower it in a crane.
Right.
Then you all go out on scuba, and then you're swimming around getting video. The sharks come at you, you go at them, and then they bank off.
So you're saying you cage exited, meaning you swam around with them with the scuba gear, not you went to the surface.
Correct. The next day I woke up, and I was just so distraught about what had happened the day before. I decided there's only one way to deal with this, and that's to cage exit, to go down there, but this time leave the cage, and this time leave it on scuba. And then it felt like a victory, right? I'm here.
And so, but when you go up to the surface, do you go back in the cage to go back up to the surface?
Yes.
Because you don't want to just swim up to the top because then they might bite your legs off.
Correct. But in the culture of cage exit great white shark diving, there's a interesting twist. For years, guys have been going out to Guadalupe and doing this stuff. It's a real kind of machismo culture. Who can get closest? Who can get the camera almost into the shark's mouth, etc. And for years, there was a lot of kind of one-upping and posting things online. And then a couple of years ago, out of what seemed like nowhere, Ocean Ramsey, this female freediver shark expert, shows on BBC video her swimming with no scuba, with the biggest great white shark anyone's ever seen. I think they call it Big Blue. And she's holding on to the fins. So all these guys, like all this testosterone of like, oh, I cage exited and I got this close and that close. And here comes this lady and she just demolishes the scene. Like no one has done what she's done. This shark is so big. This is her. This is insane. Her husband shot this footage from what I understand.
Oh my God. And imagine your wife doing this and you going, baby, what are you doing?
So
She doesn't
look,
even have fucking scuba
but
gear
she's
on.
holding on to this shark. So,
It
you
doesn't
know,
seem to mind either.
I mean, when I look at this, I mean, I get nervous. It's also beautiful. But what I love about it is, you know, there was so much pigeon chesting around.
She looks
this.
like a fish too. I would eat her. If I was a shark, like doesn't like her like even the way her legs are with that outfit on, she looks delicious. Look at the size of that thing.
Biggest one ever seen on record.
Really?
Yeah.
How big is it?
I don't know. I mean, a 10 or 12, oh, there's someone else. A 10 or 12 foot shark is a big shark because the girth is what's freaky, right? That's probably a 16 foot shark. I'm probably going to get this wrong. I'm sure
God.
the sharkanistas will come out.
all that.
Look at this.
Fuck all
Like,
that.
she's petting it or he's petting it.
Yeah, these
Amazing.
people are out of their fucking minds.
Yeah, they're out of their minds. The
You're just lucky it's not hungry.
right. And there are
Or
a
it
lot of
doesn't know
tuna out
what's
there.
going on.
So Guadalupe is an amazing place. It's just,
I just recently went home to the Bahamas, and I'm starting to miss it more and more and more because as I get older, I long for the things that I did as a little kid. I long for the places that I was at as a little kid. And so my family's from this little place called Farmerski Exuma that's 3/4 of a mile by 7/8. I think I've told you that before. And it's tiny. And I was there this time and just seeing, just waking up every morning and just looking out the window and just blue ocean all day. I want to go back there. And the people that live there, like you get a boat at like 14, 15 years old because there's really nothing that you can do on the island other than interact with your family and fish, right? Everything that you need staple wise, you have to go somewhere else to get it or it has to be brought in. So like I have a cousin who he's older than me. He's like my grandmother's generation, but he's my cousin. He's like 4 years older than me. But like this guy, he free dives and he will go down and he will hang out on the water for like 2 or 3 minutes, like with a spear. He doesn't like to scuba. He doesn't like to take a tank with him. One time we're fishing off the back of the boat. He's off the front and he's like and then on top of that he's in the water and he comes out of the water and he reaches up. He says, "Hey Julian, bring the boat over here. It's a shark." So like there's like and then he goes back down. You know what I mean? There's a shark in the water near him, probably a reef shark, and he's got his spear, and he's just like, just get closer, but I'm still fishing. Like that's the life.
So he just wants to be able to get out if shit goes sideways.
Yeah, I'm assuming, but I'm
He's
like
not scared. Would you think that it would be safer to be in the water or on top of the water if there was a shark? Like if you had goggles, you could see the motherfucker. Wouldn't you want to be in the water rather than on top and not knowing where he's coming from? I would think so.
I would think so, but then you like not only is it 360, but it's like universal. The view is universal, right?
Right.
But if you're on top of the water and you can see, at least there's like you got your back to the wall.
Yeah.
You can't come from the top.
That's true.
So
That's true. But if
I
you
don't
I don't know.
But at the same time, you're in the water with an animal who that's his natural habitat.
Yeah.
Like you can't even turn around nearly as fast as he can. He can probably swim around you and come up from the back before you could even turn around.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they swim pretty fucking fast.
Yeah, they're like ninjas in the water.
They just the cleanup crew, just like that tiger.
So my girlfriend and I were there, and I was feeding the turtles, right? So I try to grab a turtle, and literally the turtle is this big. It's no bigger than this. And I'm about to pick it up. I'm trying to pick it up.
This being like, explain to people.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, probably like
A trash can
16
lid?
inches. Yeah, a trash can lid. No bigger than a trash can lid. And I am trying to pick it up, and before I can get it out of the water, those big fins, arms that they have, he pulls me down into the water. Like this little thing, he probably weighs 40, 50 pounds. Right? And it's just so powerful in the water. Like if I were to hang on to that turtle, I would be moving faster than I would move with fins on.
Whoa.
Like how is that possible? And I'm like I don't want to talk about my weight, but I'm a lot bigger than that turtle.
You getting sensitive?
I'm not at fight weight anymore.
You're eating well.
I'm
You look good, man. Don't worry about it. Do you think you're gonna move to Bahamas? Do you think you'd live there someday?
I like ultimately I'm definitely gonna live back there in my lifetime. You know, if I want to die there.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? I don't necessarily want to die anytime soon,
Right.
but
when you do, you want to live the end of your life there,
Yeah.
the relaxed life, island
Yeah.
life. The subject of dolphins has been, I mean, it was a huge bit on my 2016 Netflix special about an experience that I had when I was in Hawaii, high as fuck on edibles, and we ran into this patch of wild dolphins, and they were playing with us. They were playing with us, and we were yelling like, yay! And they would jump out of the water and do flips for you. They were putting on a show. And I remember having this thought, like, holy shit, they're playing with us. These are these wild creatures, and they're having fun with us. And then I started doing all this research on dolphins and dolphin communication. I became obsessed with dolphins because this one. I mean, I had been fascinated by them before, but I became truly obsessed. And this experience was more than 10 years ago, and since then, I've been overwhelmed and also massively disheartened by just, by films like yours and by seeing SeaWorld and by seeing what was going on in Marineland with my friend Phil, when I've had him on a bunch of times to talk about his lawsuits. I mean, they have done everything they can to try to silence that guy and stop him from revealing all the horrors of that place. But slowly but surely, he's had a massive impact on that place's business to the point where they're trying to just get him to shut up, and he won't. He won't. I mean, and he was on the inside. He was a trainer, and did all that stuff. So, for me to be able to talk to someone like you, it's I love the fact that we can get that out there.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's, swimming with dolphins in the wild. There was it triggered a memory over in Rangaroa. I was with our team, and there was 3 groups of resident dolphins so they're hanging out there all the time. You get to recognize them, and we were playing with them. And the more you play with them, the more you can spin around, the more you can, the more excited they get.
Yeah.
And they can only do it for so long. And I remember once that we were doing it, and we finally we had scooters, and we thought, well, a dolphin looks at you and you look like you're like in a wheelchair.
Not even.
Yeah, right.
Someone in a wheelchair can get around pretty good.
Yeah. But in the water, we just look like
yes.
we're just pitiful.
Yeah.
And so they can only be entertained so long. But the scooters, we figured we could engage them a lot longer. And then all of a sudden, this group just took off, and there was sort of you're let down because you're high from the experience of being with them in the wild. And they took off, and we saw that there was about an 18-foot long hammerhead, and they were taking turns ramming it away from us.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like not only were they playing with us, they were protecting us.
Wow, that must have been wild, though, seeing an 18-foot long hammerhead. Holy shit.
Yeah, because they disappeared into the blue, and then we could see them ramming this thing. The dolphins were big. I mean, they're not quite as long as this table, but they're probably 300 to 500 pounds, and they're maybe 7 feet long, and they look tiny next to this shark.
Wow, that's wild. That is wild. Yeah, occasionally you see they'll do drone footage off of the coast of Malibu, and you see like a great white swimming around there just a few hundred yards away from surfers.
Oh man, my son does that with drones. He goes out in his kayak and films them.
My friend Peter Attia, he's done a bunch of like crazy endurance things, and one of the things he did, he swam to all of the islands in Hawaii, and to prepare for this, he had to do a lot of swimming. He lives in San Diego, and swimming in the coast out there, and he was swimming literally. What do you say? Like a couple days after that guy got bit in half.
Oh my god.
I think so,
Yeah, I think it was just.
He wasn't scared. He wasn't scared. I think it might
Well, I
have been
think
the
he
next
was a little
day,
freaked out, but it was within a few days of one of the guys who got bit in half down in San Diego.
When did this happen?
The San Diego incident, I want to say it was 10 years ago, somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 years ago. And then there was one in Santa Barbara that happened about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. Occasionally they slip up, think a person's a seal or something.
Most of the time when I've dove with a lot of sharks before, you usually only get them around you if you're feeding them, and that feels so horrible. It's just so unnatural. I won't do it anymore. But
It's weird, right?
Yeah, it's just not. I couldn't be around it. There's some friends of mine that were feeding it. They're on a feed, and I was about, I don't know, maybe 50 yards away. And I thought, I just don't want to be part of it. And I was just filming on the reef, and these silver tips came over, and I don't know if they're excited by it. I had a camera with the strobes on it, but they just came in. They were like attacking me, and I had a rebreather. I died with a rebreather, so you can scream. So I started screaming as loud as I could through this thing, but I was pushing them off, and they were like working together. You could see it was like pack. You know, like one would go this way, then one would go this way. So he had to like, I had these lights with these like octopus with 4 lights on it, and I could push them away. But then one of the guys that we had brought over a tuna head and lured him away. But they were just it was because they were excited by the feeding over there. So I don't even want to be in the water these days when people are feeding sharks, because it's no joke. When you're under the water, it's not like you can just run up a tree. There's no place to go.
There's nowhere to go. You feel helpless, and that's their natural environment, and that's what they're there for. They're there to clean up. You know, anything that's weak, anything that's fucked up, anything, any seal that gets caught slipping, they're there for population control. I mean, there's a really powerful video off of the I'm sure you've probably seen it, off of Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, where a bunch of tourists are there, and boom, this great white snatches a seal right in front of everybody, and just thunderous explosion of blood and foam in the water, and like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a couple miles from where I live.
Yeah, I mean, they're magic. That's a crazy beast.
I'm supposed to. Somebody just invited me today to go out and be with great whites, not diving, just to watch. Just to watch.
There's a crazy video from, I think it was the Cape, somewhere around the Cape Cod, where there was like a 20-foot one next to a boat, and these guys were in this boat, and this great white just swims right up next to them, and they start fucking screaming and freaking out, and it's enormous. It's like 20 feet long.
The only time, like, if you don't feed them, they're usually fairly. If you're feeding them, or if you're spear hunting, then they'll come near you.
They're dangerous for spear hunters, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
What is this? Record-breaking year for sharks off Cape Cod. Yeah, apparently there's a lot of them out there now. What do you think is that because of a large number of marine mammals?
Or drones. We can actually see them now, I think.
Oh. Have you known anybody that got bit by a shark?
Yes.
How many guys?
One of my friends got bit by a shark less than a week ago. Yeah.
How is he?
He was almost positive it's a great white shark.
Oh, Jesus.
And how's this? It was in Hawaii.
Really?
It was at my home break.
That's crazy.
Banyans in Kona on the Big Island.
Isn't that rare?
They had been seeing a great white for 3 weeks in that area. A lot of they have like manta ray boats and dolphin boats and like whale watching boats that go out. And I'm buddies with some of these guys, and they've been seeing a great white. They've been filming it on the surface. This big like a 12 great white. And this guy, his name is Jared Williford, and he's a crazy fisherman. He catches like full-size massive blue marlin off the coast of Kona in his kayak. He's like a dude with dreads. He's like real stony baloney.
What? How does he catch him off a kayak?
He catches him with his fishing pole of kayak, like he's on a boat, but he just goes with his kayak, and he'll get he'll hook up with a marlin or a big tuna, and it'll pull him miles out to sea on his kayak. I've had multiple friends who fish for a living are like, dude, I saw Jared with a marlin on his kayak. I'm dead serious. He's crazy.
That's
anyway,
so wild.
So he had a run-in with a great white like a couple weeks before, and he was like telling guys at the beach, I had a run-in with a great white when I was on my kayak, and everyone, just figured he was full of shit. Like, it's no way. And then next thing you know, and it's on the, I should pull it up on my phone, but so there's webcams at a lot of these surf breaks now. And at my home break at Banyans, there's a webcam now. It's a Surfline webcam. So 24 hours a day, there's a camera. And so his attack is on camera. Yeah. Yeah, this is it.
Whoa. Video of surfer being attacked and dragged underwater by shark at Banyans on Hawaii's Big Island. Wham. Nails him right there. He's down. Now he's going to pop up and swim to that guy.
Yeah. So there's a video. This is the video right here.
Oh, play this. Sweet baby Jesus.
This is where I grew up surfing. I don't know.
Where's the video?
There it is. Click on that. So this is my home break
screen.
where I've been surfing this since I was 5 years old.
That's that. Now, right after this wave, you'll see it comes, and wham, nails him right
He's
there.
underwater.
He's down. Now he's going to pop up right there, whoop, and swim to that guy. Whoa.
So that was a girl next to him.
Whoa.
A girl was paddling out next to him. Shark comes up, grabs him, takes him underwater, and he comes up and hangs onto that girl's surfboard. His board's gone.
Oh my God.
You can see the size of the shark's huge too.
You don't see it much. You don't.
No, you see the fin though come up.
So it grabbed the board and him. And how badly did he get bit?
It shredded his forearm pretty much completely.
Oh my God.
And so my wife was just the other day. My wife was talking to the girl who was there in that video, who was next to him. So shark comes up, just nails him, takes him underwater, and she's just sitting there like, holy shit, this guy's toast. He's dead for sure. And she was thinking she was dead too. And then all of a sudden he pops up right next to her, and the shark's still right there. And she said it was moving like crazy slow, like a big slow submarine. You know how scary that is.
Oh
And it's
my
shallow
God.
there. It's like 4 feet deep where they were. This massive tank of a shark is in 4 feet of water.
And just sucked him under. And it shredded his arm. Did
It
they
didn't
put it?
suck him under, dude. It grabbed him with his freaking jaws and pulled him under.
And did he get his arm fixed? Like,
Yeah, so he is still in the ICU, or he's still in the hospital.
wow.
Still. And so I haven't talked to him personally, but it shredded his arm like horribly bad. I think he might have lost function in some of his fingers. And anyway, this girl who was right next to him, so his board is gone, and he was gushing blood like crazy, like hemorrhaging blood. And so she was on top of her board paddling. He swam under her board and held onto her board, and she tried to paddle him to the beach. She took off her leash, which is like, you know, your leash to your board, a cord, and wrapped it super tightly around his arm as a tourniquet, and fully saved his life. And then when he was on the way in, another guy swam out and did another tourniquet on his arm and saved his life. But I guess he lost tons and tons of blood.
The guy's lucky.
Yeah, extremely lucky.
Unlucky and lucky at the same time.
Could have been so much worse.
Have you ever had an encounter?
I have. I've had encounters. I've seen a bunch of sharks and seen some big sharks.
What a wild creature, right? Just the cleanup crew of the ocean.
They're terrifying. The heavy thing is, like, if you have a run-in with a great white shark, there's a really good chance that they're not going to eat you, right? They chill a lot of times. But if they're hungry, if they haven't eaten I don't know, how often do great whites eat, Jamie?
Let's guess. I say they have to eat once a week.
Yeah, I'd say 4 days maybe. Let's see.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun 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 dun.
What pops
dun,
up, it says the amount of energy required by great white sharks was equivalent to eating a seal pup every 3 days.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you run into a white shark and it sees you, it's not going to eat you unless it's really hungry. But if it's starving, you're toast. That's it. Bad luck.
Yeah, I mean, they eat shoes sometimes. They eat all kinds of things.
Yeah, especially
Find their
like by my
stomachs.
house, there's a lot of tiger sharks, and tiger sharks are like, they bite first, ask questions later. They'll fish out a tiger shark and cut its stomach open. There's like license plates and shoes and shit, like a lot of stuff.
So they're just more aggressive.
Yeah, they're more aggressive. They'll just bite anything.
They need according to this research, they need about 66 pounds of blubber to survive for no more than 15 days.
Wow.
So I'm trying to do the math in my head for like 2 weeks.
That's a lot.
30 pounds a week.
So
4 pounds
if
a day.
he's really hungry, he might just eat you. But even if he just bites you, you're probably dead.
Yeah.
Like, your guy got lucky.
Yeah, my friend was incredibly lucky.
Did you see the shark in the LA River that was raised from Hurricane Hillary?
What?
That's not real.
Oh, it's not? Oh, I'm such an idiot.
Bro, I live on the beach, you know, right in Clearwater Beach 4, the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
And we have friends come over, you know, because especially when the sun's going down, they come in and they just kind of like, there's a Clearwater channel, and then I live up the beach, but you can see them come down, you know, the coast, and they're going to the Clearwater channel because all the fishing boats, so all the chum and the fish heads in there, and they're just, you know, from like 7 to 8 at night before the sun goes down, they're just cruising along, you know, taking their time. They'll hit something if it's in the water. So when our friends come over, if they have young kids or stuff, I don't want them in the water.
Yeah, fuck that.
Even, you know, waist deep just in there. So it's kind of
It
like,
happens. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they just found a shark in Idaho. They found a shark 500 miles from the ocean. I believe it was a salmon shark. It is very rare. There it is. Idaho officials find strange shark on riverbank in the landlocked state.
Jeez,
That is insane.
that's crazy.
They suspect someone left the creature by the Salmon River as a prank. I wonder if someone like let it go, like someone had it as a pet and let it go into the water. But they know that there's certain sharks like bull sharks, they can live in fresh water. You know that whole movie Jaws is based on what happened in a river? It's based on bull sharks in New Jersey. Bull sharks,
Those are the worst, bro.
there's something about them, they're very aggressive, but there's also something about their metabolism where they can breathe fresh water and they just urinate way more. It's like they have like some different system. So they can survive and thrive in fresh where they just piss all the time.
Well, they're the only ones that, in Florida that keep coming back and love the taste of humans. They'll come back and keep hitting you. You know, you'll get hit by a lemon shark or a tiger shark or a hammerhead. They may just bite you just to see what you are, and they could keep moving if you're lucky. But those bull sharks, they don't go away. They're full of testosterone. Man, they just finish the job.
What kind of shark was it that killed that dude in Egypt, that horrific internet video that everybody's seen now? You've seen that video, right? Where the guy's screaming for his father.
Yeah.
And he's
It's a tiger shark.
tiger shark. Yeah. Those are highly aggressive too. There a lot of those are what bites people in Hawaii.
Yeah, we've dealt with a few of those.
Whoa, fuck that.
Yeah, I was
Fuck
back
that.
in the day. I was filming a show with Carl Weathers and Chris Lemon. Well, two different shows. One was Thunder in Paradise, and the other one was Assault on Devil's Island, some 2-hour TNT movies, you know. And we went down and had to do the whole Navy SEAL thing. And Stuart Cove, who was down in the Bahamas, the shark wrangler. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No, I haven't.
But if you go to the Bahamas, you can go to his place, and he'll take you on a shark dive, and they'll put the mesh on you, and you can sit around the big metal can where he's got all the chum, and you just sit there and keep your arms in with a metal mesh on, and you can have all the sharks circle you, and you get the shark dive experience.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we used him for a couple of the shows, you know, and we caught a tiger shark about 7 in the morning, and he was very irritated. So all the stunt guys anchored him to the bottom, tied a rope around his tail, a couple of ropes on him, which was kind of like crazy. And Stuart Cope goes, "Oh, we'll come back later in the day, and he won't be able to oxygenate his gills, and he'll be real docile." So me and Carl Weathers are going, good, you know. And so right when we popped up at about 7:30 in the morning, because we were all diving, of course, and we loved being in the water. We were playing Navy SEALs and having fun with it. We were all certified, so whenever we could dive, we could. And we watched them catch the shark, and then we came back up. When we did, there was this like 100-foot-plus Coast Guard cutter that pulled up on us. So what are you guys doing? And we were all making excuses, and if they would have known what that we were doing, we'd have been in a lot of trouble. And so we took off. Came back later that day, dove down to where the shark was, and he was pissed. I mean, he was pissed from being tied down all day. And they needed one shot. They needed me swimming underwater with what was supposed to be a dead Navy SEAL on my back, and the stunt guys drilled holes in this shark's tail and put monofilament line in the tail. And as I had one of those little scooters, and as the shot came into frame, I had a guy up to my right that was going to give me the thumbs up one to turn around and bump him with a scooter. And we got the guy on my back, the stunt guy, who had shark bites all over him because he works with sharks all the time anyway. And he put chum in his BC, right?
Oh, God.
So I'm swimming underwater with these crazies, and never done this before, so I'm listening to what they're telling me to do. And all of a sudden, the guy gives me the thumbs up, and when I turn, I couldn't even get the scooter under this shark's mouth. When I turned, I bumped him in the nose. He was so close to our heads, and those stunt guys jerked him with that monofilament line, and that shark disappeared like a magic trick. Jerked him like 10 yards away from me. Stuart Cove goes, he's got the camera. He goes, "That was fucking great. Let's do one more." I went, "Fuck you. I'm going up."
Yeah,
So
fuck
I'm
you.
glad that was so great, because I won't do that ever again.
I'll never forget when that helicopter crashed on the Twilight Zone movie.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That was the first time it put in my, people die when people do stupid shit. Like if someone does something that's not wise or too dangerous, like that can happen. That can happen in a movie set. That can happen on a TV show. It can happen.
Yeah, oh yeah.
People take chances, and they take chances with you, and that's a big fucking chance, man. You got a shark. I mean, most likely the shark probably would have just tried to get away, you know, because I don't think sharks fight, right?
No,
they probably just eat and kill, and it probably would think it's in danger. And now that it has freedom, it would probably just take off. But still, it's a fucking wild shark. It's a killing machine.
And things just happen anyway.
Things just happen, and you can't move out of the way. It's like you don't have. Oh Jesus, that's so
Is that
insane. That's so insane. That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Dude.
Well, there you go. How do you do this, man? How do you get this stuff?
Jamie's the man.
Unbelievable.
Jamie's the fucking man. This is.
That's it. Yeah. I can't believe you got it.
This is so dumb.
Yeah, tell me about it. And then he wanted to do it again.
Oh my god, dude, this freaks me out just watching it.
Yeah.
Dude, it was
People
crazy.
get killed. It happens. There was one time. There's been 2 times when I was filming Fear Factor that I told the producers like, don't do this. And one of them was riding
I
bulls.
forgot about that show. I love that show.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, wow. I forgot you did that.
They
Man,
they
that was
rolled
my
some
favorite
dice.
show.
They rolled some dice when they made people ride bulls because I was like, you can't control this thing.
You know what's so
Like, there's-
weird? Even when you don't expect it, like I went and did a couple episodes of Walker, Texas Ranger
Yeah.
with Chuck, and he's sitting in there at 5:30 in the morning in the makeup trailer telling me about one of those Delta movies he made,
Yeah.
where the last shot of the day, the helicopter's taking off. And I guess he wanted to get home to his wife and kids, and his body double says, Chuck, go ahead, man. Just go ahead and go on home. I'll get in the helicopter and we'll fly off in the sunset. Just needed to get the lift off. Chuck's telling me he's in the car with his driver. He looks at the helicopter. It takes off. He watches it fall out of the sky, and everybody gets killed.
Oh my god. These parts of the world where people are willing to harvest things like that, like how did they figure that out? Who was the first guy that's like, you see that fucking beehive up there?
Right.
I'm gonna get some of that honey, dude.
Right. I'm going to
Like-
dangle off a cliff. Yeah.
Like, good luck, my friend.
I was saying this the other day to some buddies. Who was the first guy to figure out caviar? Who's the first guy to suck off a sturgeon and be like, this is delicious? You know?
Good point.
It's like,
I
are
guess
you
they
kidding
probably
me?
just eat everything they can out
Yeah.
of a fish.
Yeah.
And if you catch a sturgeon, man, the whole village is eating.
Yeah. I mean,
You
some
know?
of them 9-10 feet long.
Dude, they are so big. My friends John and Jen, they live in Alberta, and they went sturgeon fishing, and they caught them and put them on their Instagram page. And you look at it like, that is a prehistoric dinosaur type
Right.
creature. That thing is enormous.
Those big scales down the sides and down the
Huge.
back and the weird mouth and whiskers. They're bizarre.
Yeah, there's something about the way you're looking at them. You're like, I don't feel like you should be catching that.
Right. Looks too old.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like you should probably leave that thing alone. They think that might be one of the there's a lot of those North American things that they think are monsters like Nessie. You know, like the Loch Ness monster. They
Sure.
also have like ones in Lake Michigan. And what do they call it? Lake Champlain. They have a Lake Champlain one, and they think that it might be sturgeon.
Oh,
That
interesting.
These people are seeing because especially because people have a tendency to exaggerate. If you see a 10-foot sturgeon, you
Right.
would think it's
a 20 foot
50
long.
feet long.
Yeah,
Like, oh my
totally.
god, it's a dinosaur.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you know that this is kind of interesting? They actually had documented bull sharks stuck in the Great Lakes.
Yes, I'd heard about that.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Sharks swimming 1,000 miles from Louisiana up rivers and getting stuck
Yeah.
in the Great Lakes.
Well, they're one of the rare sharks that can breathe fresh water, right?
Catadromous. Yeah, so
That's
they go.
what it is?
Yeah, in and out of fresh water. They go through osmoregulation. They can get the salt out or in whatever they need, and then go into the rivers, spend time in the rivers, go back into the ocean to hunt.
The inspiration for the movie Jaws was apparently bull sharks in New Jersey, a series of attacks in fresh water on
Right.
a river system.
Right, but near an ocean, I believe. Right, like at a
Yeah.
river mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my understanding as
Yeah,
well.
these people were going into the river, and these bull sharks were killing them,
Right.
like in a river.
Yeah.
Like what?
Nowhere is safe. Nowhere is safe.
Well, they're really aggressive, right?
Yeah, they have the highest testosterone of any species of shark, and so they're just
Jacked up and
man,
ready
they're
to
like
rock.
they're just ready all the time. Like they're bullish, and their shoulders are kind of arched over, and their pecs are locked, and they look ready at any time to just snap.
Yeah, they found them all the way up in like Illinois.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What the fuck?
Like think of the temperature in Chicago right now.
Oh, and the shark swims all the way up there, cold-blooded monster. Yeah.
They're such.
How do they get into the Great Lakes?
Well, they used to go up the Mississippi River, but I think with all the locks that are there now in place, I think the idea was that they got stuck there when they were building the locks, and then they died out over time.
When was the last known sighting of one?
I think
2 years ago.
Oh, there you go.
And they find them. There's been one found in Iowa, Texas.
Iowa. How the fuck is a shark getting to Iowa? Imagine, we lost Billy. He got bit by a shark. What was he, surfing?
Right.
No, he was in Iowa.
Right. He was plowing corn and got killed by a shark.
Billy might be an asshole.
Yeah.
In Ohio, they found them.
Really?
Yeah.
Ohio?
That's what it
Sharks
says on their
in
Wikipedia,
Ohio.
yeah.
What? How do they get in
Swimming
Ohio?
Up the river. I mean, all those rivers are connected.
Yeah.
God damn, that's amazing.
Right?
Nature finds a way. You know, whenever I look at those videos of bears catching salmon as they're jumping up the river, like, what was the first salmon thinking when it decided, hey, I'm gonna go up these rocks,
Right.
back to the place where I was born,
Right.
and spawn there.
Put a target on my back. Yeah.
And then, this gigantic fucking bear waiting to catch me in the air.
Right.
Like those images of bears catching them with their mouths as the salmon are flying through the air, trying to
Stunning.
make it up the. It's just, but it's so weird. Like, what a weird system. It's like nature's assuring robustness. They're assuring that these fragile fish don't make it. Because
Right.
in order to be able to make that trip to the ocean and back, to get through the rivers and streams, to survive, you have to be rugged.
Right.
And so
Fittest
they're
of the
ensuring
fit.
it. Yeah. So they're going upstream, swimming against the current.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, here's a fucking 1,800-pound bear looking to eat you.
It's amazing.
God, it's crazy.
It's so cool.
But that is a viable system. This is the system that's been in place forever.
Right.
So strange.
Right. And that we can destroy that so quickly.
Oh, yeah,
We put
man.
one dam in, and that ruins that whole ecosystem for that river and the bears and the salmon and the spawning. And we can remedy it. We put salmon ladders in and yada yada. But it's interesting that everything seems so tough, as you just said. And at the same time, it's so fragile because we do one thing, like put in a hydroelectric dam, and it ruins the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, we were in Seattle, and in Seattle, there's a place where you can go, and it's like underneath this bridge, and there's these clear plexiglass walls, and you can actually see the salmon making their
cool.
way through and up the river. And they were explaining how they had put dams in and didn't really understand the consequences of putting these dams back when they did. And then all these salmon would go to the mouth of the river where they thought they were going to go upriver, and it would be blocked.
Right. And
they
they're
would
just
be
stuck
fucked,
there.
and they
Yeah.
just died, and they
Right.
didn't breed. And so the population drastically diminished. These salmon died in the harbor.
Yep.
Like really wild stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that
Yeah.
supports, like that food source, that protein supports not just like the bears and the birds, but like the whole river's ecology, right? Like the river, the algae that live in the river, the little bugs that live in the algae depend on those salmon dying up that river and fertilizing the river.
Yeah.
So it's like the whole thing is so interconnected, and then, one little thing and poof.
Did you? Yeah, that is really crazy.
I think it's like that with alligators in Florida too.
Yeah. When I was a kid, they were an endangered species. They would ask us to please not feed them marshmallows because I lived in Gainesville, right by this place called Lake Alice.
Yeah.
Lake Alice had alligators. I was fucking 11 years old. I was
Yeah.
looking at alligators. Like,
Wow.
this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is a goddamn dinosaur. But there was a small population of them because they had been whacked into oblivion before, and people were making suitcases out of them. And then they made it illegal to hunt them, and they made them a protected species. But then they fucked up. They overprotected.
Yeah.
And those goddamn super lizards are everywhere now.
They're fucking everywhere.
Everywhere.
My mom belongs to a golf course down in Florida where she lives. And there's this alligator, it's apparently like this fucking 14-foot alligator. And the people were playing golf, and there was a deer. And everybody's standing there going like, it's a deer. It's a deer. Look at that beautiful deer. Fucking alligator comes out, grabs it, pulls it into the water, does that spin move, takes it to the bottom, fucking done. So everyone's talking about it. What do we do about it? So about 3 weeks later, my mom is out on the course, and her ball is right next to the lake where the alligator is, and she forgets, and she goes over, and her ball is right on the edge, and she's standing there, and she was standing on some fucking like dead grass, and it gave out, and she fell in the fucking lake up to her neck, and then she remembered. And she fucking started scrambling up the mud and grabbing at the reeds to get out of there. And the people that she was with had left. She was playing by herself for some reason. And she fucking got out of there and got in the cart, and then she just started laughing.
Oh my God.
You believe that shit?
I
My
can
little
believe-
mother, my
Oh
little
my
5'2" mother,
Oh my God.
would have been a tasty meal.
It would happen so quick.
Yeah.
Too.
Better than a deer. Old lady, nice soft old lady.
Way more tender.
Yeah. Corn fed.
Ooh.
My mom's corn fed. I never told you that?
No.
Yeah.
I thought she was organic.
No. We let her free range though sometimes.
There's a great story about a car chase. The cops were chasing this dude with a stolen car. And the guy jumps off a bridge into the water and immediately gets eaten by alligators.
Wow.
Yeah. He's like a little overpass over a river, just hops out of the fucking car, jumps into the river, and smash. He lands right in front of an alligator.
No
Alligator
shit.
jacks him in front of the cops.
Wow.
What do you do? If you're a cop, do you shoot at the alligator? Do you try to kill the alligator while
Good
it's killing
point.
the guy?
Good point.
I mean, that's a reckless thing to be doing. When there's a lot of thrashing around, you're just going to empty your clip. Pop, pop, pop. You know, I mean, how much distance is there between the bridge and the water?
Right.
What can the cop do?
Well, you know the guy's going to die, so I think it's a safe bet to take some shots anyway.
I think it's a not safe bet to take some shots because if you're a cop, what if you hit the guy? And they said, oh, you shot him. You're
Right,
trying to cover
right.
up by
That's
letting
true.
the fucking alligators eat him.
It's true.
You got to let the alligator eat him.
Yeah.
You got to save your job.
Do you hear about the guy? There was a guy flying a plane from Florida to Cuba, or Cuba to Florida, and the plane fucking went down.
Oof.
And he survived the crash, and then got eaten by sharks.
Really? Why is that funny? That's so fucked
Just
up.
because that 20-minute period where you're floating in the water, but you're thankful and you're almost giddy.
Oh my
I
God.
did it. I fucking survived.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Bad day.
Well, you know that story about the World War II boat that sank, and the guys were floating around at sea for several days, and most of them got eaten by sharks?
Oof.
That's the story that they talk about in the beginning of Jaws.
Yeah.
Remember where the captain's at the fucking scars, and he starts talking about his time on the boat?
Yeah.
Do you remember that scene?
Roy Scheider.
No, not Roy Scheider. The guy who's talking to Roy Scheider.
Okay.
Who's that guy? What's that guy's name again? Old time actor. The guy was fucking amazing. Just pull up Jaws.
I know you said it too quick. Richard Dreyfuss.
No. Richard Dreyfuss was a scientist. Roy Scheider was the sheriff. Richard Dreyfuss was the scientist. And then there's an older gentleman.
Robert Shaw.
Oh, yeah. Right.
He steals that fucking
Fuck
movie.
yeah.
Baby. He steals that movie. Where is he?
Right here.
Yeah, he steals that fucking movie. He steals that fucking movie. You believe him.
Wait, so what was the opening scene?
Not the opening scene, but he describes what it was like. No, that's a different shark attack.
So I typed in World War II shark
Oh, the
attack.
naval ship. Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. I was thinking when it said worst shark attack in history, I was thinking it was that story about New Jersey where the bull sharks killed people. Scroll back up so I can see what it says there. 1945, U.S. naval ship was sunk by a Japanese submarine. The ship's sinking was just the beginning of the sailor's nightmare. Yeah, that's the boat. That's the story.
How many people died?
A shitload. Let's see.
200 and about almost 300 people died.
Yeah, of the 1,196 men aboard, 900 made it into the water alive.
Oh.
Their ordeal.
Wait.
So that's how many survived the crash. So there's 900 of them that are alive. Now, how many of them make it to the end? Out of 900, scroll it.
Days passed.
Yeah, they're just giving you the full line of the story. They're not giving you just the actual facts.
317.
317 remained. So almost 600 people got eaten.
Estimates of the number who died from shark attacks range from a few dozen to almost 150.
So the other people die from other things?
Starvation, probably.
Oh.
Heat, stroke, being in the water. Could be a lot.
And so I bet when those guys died, then the sharks ate them and it got even worse. Fuck, man.
Whoa.
That's fucking crazy. Just imagine 150 people eaten by sharks.
The amount of blood in the water?
Fucking Christ. Oof. But when you're around any kind of thing that can eat you and kill you, it puts it all into perspective that you're not around that enough. It's not like you should be around it all the time, but you should know it's a real thing. And when you're around it, you go like, oh, sharks will just eat you. Oh, a bear will just eat you. Oh, that mountain lion will just eat you. Oh, like these people that got killed this year was, or 2018 at least, was very rare. And that 2 people were documented killed by mountain lions in the Pacific Northwest. One guy in Portland, outside of Portland, and one guy outside of Seattle. It's pretty rare that mountain lions do that. But, mountain lions will just eat you. Oh, that can happen too. Like, we think we're so safe.
And I think you're right. It would keep you in the moment. I think we should release like grizzly in cities. Just because like you might be worried about, the fucking stock market's down, or I think my wife's cheating. Bear! And you're right back in the moment again.
Yeah, you're in the moment. But then you're going to have to allow people to be armed to protect themselves. Guys are going to have open carry. Fucking ARs slung around their shoulders looking out for bears everywhere.
Yeah.
You're taking your kid to school, you better bring the rifle.